gonna show you some basic, I'm gonna show you 2 counters to the hip bump. First thing is understanding the hip bump. You can't hip bump me if I'm like this. So if I'm pinning him down, it's gonna be tough for him to do so. He can hip bump me as I'm trying to like build my base. So like as I'm pushing up, like there may be a slingshot action where you can sit up, or my hands are on the ground, or just having to keep it a moment or something like that. So first thing is start setting up the hip bump a little bit. Go ahead and start calming up a little bit. Yeah. Have to hold for a second. Don't sweep me, but just knock me backwards just a little bit. Yes, good. So do it again. You feel like you're pretty strong there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna win, right? Do it again.
Nah.
No. So as I raise my hips higher than his, sorry. So as I raise my hips higher than his, it's harder for him. He doesn't have as much leverage. Now he can still sometimes get away with it. The guys that have really long limbs and sometimes can still raise their hips higher and still get more power. So you want to do something. You don't want to sit there the whole time. So you go back in. A basic counter to this guy is this. So he goes to sit up. He goes up for the hip bump. So as you start sitting up, I want this hand to keep his hip down. I want to step back, step over. And then if I can make any kind of connection, this is a modified seatbelt grip. If I can make any kind of connection, great. But now my knee is just going to shoot underneath of him. And then I get to right to his back. The back takes extra credit. It's like the salt and pepper on a steak, but it's not 100% needed, but it makes things better. So, you want to go back, go here, back, hip bump. So we're kind of playing. So I'm chilling. He goes to make the hip bump, like, oh no. He goes up. I raise my hips. Now, if he's smart, he'll sit back down. But if he just stays here and he's like, I'm going to get this sweep. So look, I clear, step, pivot. And I can start playing. Back takes extra credit. Worst case scenario, what will happen majority of the time, go ahead back into it, you'll end up in top half guard. So if we'll go for the bump sweep, sit up, I raise my hips, I step over, he flattens his back out, he squares back up. That's what probably what's going to happen majority of the time. Against a smart guy, he's going to be like, oh, that's a bad idea. And then he goes, okay? Option 1. Option 2. We start sitting up, I kind of catch him like halfway point. If I stay here forever, he may eventually knock me back. So I'm gonna shoot my arm in, and I like 2 hands on this with monkey grips, and I'm gonna start collapsing this in. I like this, and I widen my knees here, and I put a little wedge on his knee. So try to lock your guard. It's gonna be tough, right? Go ahead and lock it though. So if he does lock it, it's not bad, but what I like to do is the more I can wedge and shuffle and widen my base, the harder it is for him to get. Notice how I put my head in his armpit and it kind of just elongates the guy a little bit. And then I'm widening my base, I'm just making a wedge to frame. Once I frame this, like this grip is so valuable because try to square back up with me. He can't do anything unless he gets that grip free. So I'm taking this and I'm flaring this guy down. And then at this point, it's like I can pass, I can go to his back, I can come back over top, I can go over top and then hop over. I can start attacking the opposite arm. I now have a whole jubilee of attacks. So again, go right into it. That's a weird choice of words. Entanglement. It's my word. I'm pretty good first. So he goes to sit up. I'm like, great, boom. I shoot the arm through. I collapse. Notice how I'm not pulling his arm necessarily. That requires strength. I'm just wedging and driving. And then at this point, try to do what you want. Once that grip is grabbed, man, it does. Watch Khabib, he does that all the time. Like, it's annoying. If that grip is grabbed, you're in a lot of trouble. Okay? Make sense? So option 1, that partner option 1, he goes to sit up, like I raise my hips, it's gonna buy you some more time. That alone, great move. You made this posture, find yourself back in the guard, but you killed the sweep. You now have to sweep a different way. If he does continue to keep posturing, open, step, and I'm gonna try to pivot to his back or just establish the half guard. And then option 3, he goes to sit up. Maybe I found myself a little low, or maybe I'm intentionally looking for this move. He goes to sit up, I shoot the arm for the forearm, collapse. Keep that lock or that key in the lock right on his arm, and then work your pass that way. Make sense? Cool. Pop up 3, 1, 2.